Right, hey YouTube, this is a how to install a bottom bracket on a BMX bike. What you're going to want to use is a monkey wrench or any wrench that'll fit a 1/2 inch threaded bolt or threaded rod. You're going to need 2 washers and 2 1/2 inch nuts. You're also going to want a pair of vice grips and a pair and some grease. Doesn't matter what kind of grease it is, it's just got to be any type of grease that isn't WD-40, because that'll wear and tear your bike. Alright, put my camera down. Alright, what you're going to want to do is to start off, you're going to want to take your frame and take your rod. You take the rod and you unscrew this nut. Well, actually, first, before all of this, you want to take your grease and you want to grease up the inside of the bottom bracket, like where the bearings are going to sit. You're going to want to grease that up so there's no friction when they're going into the frame, because if there is, then that can damage your bearings and you don't want that. So you're going to take off the washer and the nut so that there's only one washer and one nut, and you're going to slide on a bearing, which I don't have any bearings because it's my old frame. My new frame already has bearings in it, but you slide on a bearing. Hold on a second. Alright. Well, you slide on a bearing, and then you slide on this spacer, which comes with your bearings, and it's just, you slide it on after the bearing, and you put it into your frame. And then after you do that, what you're going to want to do is slide on another bearing, and then slide on another washer. And then you throw on the nut. Alright, so once you got the nut on, and you got the bottom bracket device all made, you're going to take a pair of vice grips or a wrench, and you're going to put it onto one nut. I prefer vice grips because they stay there and you don't have to hold it in. But yeah, and then you take your monkey wrench and you just tighten down. You tighten on both sides, so don't just tighten like this. Don't tighten on just one side. You tighten with both, on both sides, and make sure the bearings are even so you don't crack your bearing. So you just constantly going and going until your bearings are pressed into your bottom bracket nice and tight, and then you just unscrew it, put these to the side, unscrew this, and after you unscrew that, your bearings should be flush, and if they're not, just put a just do it again, make sure they're flush. And what you're going to want to do after that is you're going to want to take your white lithium grease again. You're going to want to put some right inside here on the bearing on both sides, and then you're going to want to take your crank spindle and put the grease all over the spindle, and then you can slide it on through. You might have to use a rubber mallet or something to get it through. Depends. I had to use a hammer with a cloth around it to get it through, but it didn't take much. It took like 4 bangs. But yeah, after you do that, you get it in, you put on your cranks, and yeah, that's basically it. So it's not that hard. It's actually pretty simple. You can get this white lithium grease for $5 at Home Depot. You can buy all this at Home Depot, which is great. So you can get that for $5. You can probably get a monkey wrench. I don't know. You should, if you have a dad around the house. I don't even have a dad around the house. If you have a toolbox around the house, hopefully it has one laying around in there. You have a 1/2-inch threaded rod. It doesn't have to be steel, and it doesn't have to be iron. It can be zinc because this is all you're going to use it for, unless you want to reinforce some concrete with a threaded rod. But yeah, it's just zinc threaded rod is all you need, with 2 washers and 2 nuts. And vice grips you don't have to have. You can just have 2 wrenches. If you have a bike, I mean, you should have a wrench. But yeah, that's how you install a bottom bracket on any BMX bike. Comment, rate, subscribe. Check out my other videos. I got a bike check. Hopefully soon I'll have an edit. Maybe in like the next month or two I'll try to put together an edit. But yeah,